Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 2. I am Francis Adet, coming to you live. Presides over Federal Executive Council meeting. Senate congratulates Ahmed Tinubu on election victory. Plus, Turkey to hold elections on May 14 despite quake. We'll bring you details of these stories and more. Many thanks for being there. Beginning on news this afternoon is Nigeria's #2 citizen, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who is currently presiding over the Federal Executive Council fake meeting at the State House, Abuja. This week's fake meeting is the first after the presidential elections, which saw the emergence of the All Progressives Congress Bola Tinubu as president-elect. Present are the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustapha, the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi-Esang, National Security Advisor, Babagana Mangono, the President's Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. Ministers who are attending include the Ministers of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk, Finance, Zainab Ahmed, Industry, Trade and Investment, Ni Adebayo, Agriculture, Muhammad Abubakar, Aviation, Hadi Sirika, Niger Delta, Umana, Power, Abubakar Aliyu, Youth and Sports, Sanda Dare, Transportation, Muazu Sambo, and Environment, Muhammad Abdullahi, amongst others. We will bring you details of the meeting in our subsequent bulletins. On electoral latest, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has declared the 70-year-old polled 8,794,726 votes to win the 2023 presidential elections. The INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu announced Tinubu as the winner of the
APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Thank you.
In the meantime, the President-elect Bola Tinubu has offered insight into how his administration will pilot the affairs of the nation. He said he was ready to listen and take a difficult route in ensuring Nigerians see better days and the country of their dreams. He said that these are the APC presidential campaign be the cornerstones of the country, assuring that he would be the chief servant while serving Nigeria with all his ability.
Conflict and made a promise to the country. We are free. For you to learn one thing: conflict and conflict resolution mechanism. We have created the biggest democracy.
To the winner of the just concluded presidential election, Bola Tinubu, on his victory in the 2023 polls. Reacting to the result, Buhari described the president-elect as the best person for the job, adding that he will work with him and his team to ensure. We move to the Senate, where the Senate has congratulated the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu on his victory in the just concluded 2020 to be in attendance for the issuing of the certificate of return to the president-elect, which will take place by. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has declared that it will be at the International Collation Center in Abuja. He explained that the move is to allow the Commission have ample time to adequately plan for governorship election built for March 11th. Meanwhile, the INEC chairman said the Commission would issue a statement today on when the ceremony for senators and House of Representatives members-elect would hold. Not to resort to violence, but approach the court to seek redress over the collection of the election, and also asked the Independent National Electoral Commission claims in a statement the president asked the opposition party to approach the court and prove their case. Journalist in Gombe State. At the one-day capacity building workshop organized for journalists, the Federal Commissioner of the National Population Commission for Gombe, Abubakar Damburam, noted that census was a unique opportunity for Nigerians to be enumerated. Damburam said that the commission health staff comprising supervisors and enumerators would also be trained. We move to Africa, where the UN envoy for the country this year, Batley, said the initiative, which he's armed at enabling the organization and holding of presidential and legislative elections in 2023, will also establish framework and a roadmap associated with a timetable for the holding of elections in 2023, as well as advancing a consensus around related issues such as security, elections, and the adoption of a code of conduct for candidates. Still in Africa, over 1,000 Kenyan traders have reportedly protested in the capital Nairobi, outlet of general merchandise whose prices are on average 45% lower than those prevailing in locally owned enterprises. Meanwhile, Trade Minister Moses Kuria has offered to take over China's Square lease from its Chinese owner and hand it to local traders, but Kuria Singoi, the principal secretary at the Kenya Ministry of Foreign Affairs, stressed on Twitter that all investors are welcome, irrespective of their nationality. On the foreign scene, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has ruled out any delay in parliament in Ankara. The president said Turkish people will do what is necessary on May 14th. The Turkish leader previously proposed holding the crunch election on May 14th that could keep his Islamic-rooted government in power until 2028. But after the massive quake that allegedly killed more than 45,000 people in Turkey, there had been suspicion whether that vote could go ahead as planned. Meanwhile, Erdogan has declared a 3-month state of emergency across unlikely. And still to come in the news, former French striker Jules Fontaine dies at 89. To stay with us. to the rest of the news stories. On a business news, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has disclosed that only 25% of loans disbursed under the Anchor Borrowers Program, ABP, of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, have been repaid. This disclosure was contained in the IMF of the country. It was noted that the document was based on the information available as of the time it was completed on January 12, 2023. According to the IMF, agricultural credit in the country has not significantly boosted production, even though there is the challenge under the ABP. Repayments have been very low. Reports say the Anchor Borrowers Program, established in 2016, initially set aside 40 billion naira to support farmers by offering single-digit interest rate loans, a rising share of banking system agricultural financing. Still in business, the federal government, under the advocated Arkan Act, will attract severe sanctions ranging from various fines to 1 year imprisonment of relevant officials. Arkan Director General Olalekan Fadalapo stated this during an interactive session with digital agencies would begin rolling out sanctions to erring advertising practitioners effective March 1, 2023. According to him, sanctions will cut across primary digital space owners, big tech lenses responsible for marketing communication on these platforms. Fadalapo reiterated that Arkan does not seek to regulate social media by the Arkan law. In health, the former president of the Association of Psychiatrists of Nigeria, Professor Taiwo Shaik Sciences, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, made the call in an interview with newsmen in Lagos. He urged people to always share their thoughts with positive-minded people to boost their happiness and mental health. The medical expert said that engaging in positive activities that give happiness while avoiding anger would help in promoting optimal people to get themselves surrounded by positive-minded people in the interest of their mental well-being. Small amount of daily exercise, such as a brisk 11-minute walk. Meta-analysis published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine disclosed that 75 minutes a week or less than 11 minutes a day walk could reports say cardiovascular diseases such as heart attack and stroke killed 17.9 million people globally in 2019, while also accounted for nearly 10. To sport now, where former French striker Just Fontaine, who holds the record for the most goals scored at a single World Cup as the Finnish third, is joined fourth on the all-time World Cup goal scorers list alongside Argentina's Lionel Messi. Fontaine is also remembered for helping to form French players' list of the 125 greatest living footballers. In basketball, Nikola Jokic became 3-1-1-2. Jokic, the two-time reigning NBA Most Valuable Player, finished with 14 points, 11 rounds, and 10 assists. The 28-year-old has 24 triple-doubles this several weeks on the sidelines after injuring his right foot in the La Liga's victory over the Dallas Mavericks on Sunday. The Memphis Grizzlies exploited James' 3 points as James watched on wearing a protective boot. On our entertainment news, a submarine parade through the streets and a rave held simultaneously in Liverpool contest in May, with a 2-week festival taking place in the city ahead of the event. The English National Opera will perform their take on classic Eurovision songs, and in Liverpool Cathedral, Ukrainian artist Katya won the Eurovision contest in 2022, but it was deemed too dangerous to stage the event in the winning country this year following the Russian invasion. Victory will be joining American music stars Drake, Usher, and Summer Walker as part of the J. Cole's 2023 Dreamsville Festival in North Carolina. Lil Durk, Ari Lennox, City Girls, Sean Paul, Ed Gang, Jesse, Reyes, and Key Clock, amongst others, while Sunday features one of Glorilla, Bass, Waka, Flaker Flame, Mario, and many more. To close out the 2023 edition's headlines set on the festival main stage, as the two will perform a medley of hits from each of their chart-topping catalogs. spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum News at 2. I am